How's it going, everybody? Doing a drink review here today and a soft-spoken ramble. I'm going to try to go a little longer with it. Not an hour or anything, but we'll see. How long I can push it, and plenty of things to ramble about, right? The drink I have is one that was mentioned to me in a video. I'm pretty sure it was this flavor, Sparkling Ice Black Raspberry. I found this in Lowe's. Yeah, I can't remember back to this. I might have mentioned it, but when I did the pineapple one, I said that was one someone asked for. They asked for grapefruit. So I apologize for saying that one was asked for because it wasn't. It was grapefruit, but I can't find grapefruit in the Walmart or the Dollar Tree. I haven't seen grapefruit yet. So, but anyway, Sparkling Ice here. I do like a raspberry taste, so this should be decent. It's not bad. These are pretty refreshing, I will say. I did have another one. I bought two of them. They were $1 each, so can't go wrong with a $1 drink. I bought a Starburst orange one. That one was pretty good as well. This one's decent. There goes my stomach making noises. Well, it's not a fart. This one's pretty good. I like these kind of drinks because they are light. This is refreshing. It's got a crisp feel to it. I'll use all the buzzwords the only words I know how to use to describe these drinks because I don't know how to review things like this. I don't have a taste for what would it be called? I don't know what the word would be. A nose for or taste for. I guess it would just be a taste for these kind of things. This one's pretty good though. I like a nice black raspberry taste or black cherry. That's one I really like, but I do like raspberry as well. Alright, let's get into this. I'll give that a score, hopefully in like a minute or two. And not forget like the other day and end up scoring it after like 12 minutes. I'm just rambling. I did put up that I'm filming this on Monday. The card pack opening vid went up today. I've talked about it in the past. And I just ordered another box of cards, an Upper Deck hockey one. Off of eBay. But I got an Amazon haul coming. I'll call it a haul. I'm going to film it. It's 3 items related to cards, so I'll put that up as well. I'm going to go 8 on this guy. Nice light drink. I like raspberry flavor. It's crisp. It's another one of these good summer drinks. Nice and cold too. But going 8 on that. But yeah, got an Amazon thing coming. I'm going to film that as a kind of a haul and discuss it more. But I'm kind of getting into the card. I'm kind of getting that itch to get some cards. I was looking at boxes the other day for like older boxes too. When I say collect, I'm not going to start going nuts and drop 150 on a box or anything like that. Because I got that blaster, the Heritage Blaster. I'd gotten that Garrett Cole auto hit, and that was cool. I was like, oh, look at this. When I do it in the video, I'm like, oh, that looks nice, I looked it up on eBay, and it was like, people are selling it. Not that many have sold, but people trying to sell it for like $50 and $75, which, hey, whatever. I don't plan on selling it, but I think I read it off the thing, and that was the one in every like 510 boxes, so that's cool. Not boxes, one in every 510 packs. I also it will probably get brought up I botched a person's age badly. I'm like, this person looks old, and then I'm like, they're not even 30. They were actually closer to. It was a decade off. They were like 36, not 26. They were born 88, and I'm just thinking like I'm like losing a decade here. I'm like, yeah, they're not even 30. It was cool. I like the looks of those cards. And they mimic, or they look like they looked. I think it was. I ended up looking it up. I think it was 72 tops is what they look like. But I like the feel, like the cardboard feel of those older cards, and these ones have that feel. I think Allen and Ginter? They do too. Those are weirder though. I've gotten a pack or two of those in the past. Those are completely like. They'll be like a little small card. They'll have everything like actresses, actors, horse, all types of shit. I think it was Allen and Ginter. Maybe it was something else, actually. I don't know. This was a little while ago. This had to be like 6-7 years ago. But I've been looking at some boxes, older ones. I was looking at Fleer Ultra Series 2 hockey from 92-93 because that holds a lot of nostalgia for me. Me and my friend used to buy those packs at the Busy Bee Mall. There's a card store, sports card store in the Busy Bee Mall. And you knew you were getting the Timu Solani rookie because it would be, my stomach is going nuts today. I don't know why. I didn't eat breakfast, maybe that's why. But you would know, like, Malikov was in there, Vladimir Malikov, Sylvain Cote, and there's somebody else. And like, you knew you were getting Solani. Not the first time, but when you would, because these packs would be arranged the same, like, random packs be arranged the same way. But I decided on another one. I'll probably film some of those opening, but I'm not going to open all those packs on video. I mean, maybe I could, but I'll probably breeze through a bunch of them. I don't, because those videos can drag, because I think those, I got a retail box. It's 24 packs. At 8 cards a pack. It's funny, if you go back in the day, it'd be like 30. The cat. It'd be 36 packs and like 12 cards a pack. Sometimes 14, like it was nuts. I mean, some of the sets now are pretty big. Back then, a lot of the sets were at least 500, like 700. But you can get it for cheap. I didn't. Somebody else had purchased it. I was looking at another Upper Deck, the inaugural edition of the basketball one that I'd gotten to buy. I did an unboxing of some of those and wrapping the packs, some of those. I almost got another box of those because somebody scooped it up quick. Like, I was not sure I wanted it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to end up with a shit ton of doubles. But it was like $45 after shipping, which is like $20 to $50 cheaper than what other people sell them on there. Because it's crazy. I want to get a 90-91 Skybox Series 1, and I'm going to end up paying like $50, $60 for that. Now, overall, that's really not that expensive, especially for what you get. But it's crazy because those basketball cards between, like, even the late 80s, like, almost all basketball boxes are more expensive than, like, any other sport. It's crazy. Like, some of the hockey ones get expensive, but there's the early 90s, late 80s, especially the early 90s hockey card boxes are like a lot of them, like the Parkhurst or Pinnacle, are really cheap. I used to have those back in the day too. I was looking at Leaf Baseball for back then, the tops. Some of the Upper Deck boxes back then are cheap. I was looking at like some Upper Deck football, earlier ones in the 90s as well. So we'll see. For now, I got a much more. It's not completely up to date, but it's only 4 or 5 years old, whatever it was, like 3 years old. Of the hockey one I got because it was cheap. You can get some of these, and there's some good stuff in there, Young Guns wise. Because it's cool. I go to this one site now, and the prices aren't accurate, but it's like just because I want to see who's in the set, and it has the checklist, it has the inserts. And you have a little pricing option. And I'm looking down, like, a lot of these Young Guns, they're not like $100 Young Guns, but a lot of them are worth like $10, $15. So I'm like, okay, there's some good stuff in there. It's worth getting the box. Maybe get something decent. And the series, well, I don't want to give away what. I'm getting, but not that it matters. But I mean, you get the itch. I don't know. I was looking through those, the heritage cards. I'm looking on this thing. I'm like, oh, there's variants for certain cards. I'm like, oh, did I get a variant of this guy? I mean, all the rookies I got are not. They have like no value, but it's still cool. I might get. There was a couple more blasters of that year in Walmart, so I might grab another one. Now I don't think I'd get lucky again and get like that autograph, but it's fun. I don't know, and it's not. It can be expensive. Like card collecting can be extremely expensive, but you can still get cheaper stuff. Like I'm not in. If I get something like I got that Garrett Cole autograph, awesome. I'm not necessarily going and getting. I like kind of building a set too and stuff like that. But it is. I don't know. It's got me excited again. The way video games have not gotten me excited in a while. In terms of collecting things for video games, like I said, maybe I was saying this. I did put this in a comment, and I was telling somebody else this. I believe. Could be wrong. I'm getting. Like it's awesome having the games on the shelf over there, but then I'm looking at some of the games. I'm like, I don't need this. I'm gonna sell some of these. Like I don't need these, you know. Like I had sold. I sold 2 Vita games recently. Not any game that was gifted to me, I would not sell. But I had World of Final Fantasy and Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. The first one in the series. I think they originally came out on the PSP in Japan, but and I sold both of those because I have the Danganronpa set now. It has the 3 games. It does not have Ultra Despair Girls because that was like a different kind of game. It has the 3, and then it has a new one that was made specifically for this collection. I have that on the Switch, so I'm like, I don't need this one anymore. It's lost value. I mean, I only paid $20 for it. I think that was in like 2020 or 21. I'd only paid $20 for it, and it's sold for. I didn't make that much after the fees. I think I made like $19, but still, whatever. I played a bit of it on there. And then World of Final Fantasy I sold because I have the other. I'm not gonna play that anyway. I played some of it on the Vita. I have that. I got that for $10 at the Walmart in Lake Wales in Florida a couple of years ago for $10. And so I have it on the Xbox One. And the Vita one I sold that Vita one for I think $21. Now that one cost me $20. That was new when I got it. But there's certain games, a couple of Switch games like this. Things I'm looking at some of the PS2 stuff. Unfortunately, some of those games came from garage sales, and they are severely scratched. I need to get some kind of buffer. I'd love to get one of the ones they have in like the video game stores. Big thing, but those got to be. I assume that's like $400 or $500. It's not worth it for me to get that. For $500, I can't make my money back on that just by buffing some of these discs of games I would sell. They don't have that kind of value, these games. If anything, you just end up saying, listen, this game's severely scratched. Because I've tested it. The NFL Streets in particular, I was looking at. They're severely scratched. And I was like, well, I know the one works, but I played it for like 15, 20 minutes. Like, it could still end up screwing up at some point based on where some of these bad scratches are. I almost have to listen and be like, listen, disc is severely scratched. I tested it, but only for like 20 minutes. I don't know. I mean, my PlayStation 2, I need to get my slim PS2 out and hook that up. Because this PS2 struggles sometimes too, even with discs that are in pretty good shape. So I want to see how they kind of play, if they play more consistently on the PS2 Slim. But yeah. Just looking at some of those games and like I need to sell some of these because there's just no point. There's no point. And it's like my backlog is so big at this point that it's like I'm never playing some of these games like legitimately. I'm not even gonna put 10 minutes into them. So I'm not sitting here saying I see every game and I need to complete it, because I'm not going to enjoy a game enough, probably. But it's funny, it's cool having them up on the shelves and seeing them, and then part of me is like, yeah, oh, now I can see them all. So it's like, I totally don't need that. I don't need that. That's for certain systems, like the original Xbox. I still want to collect for, and go a little further on that collection. I'd love to go further on my Cube collection, but the GameCube stuff is expensive. So you can find some stuff for $20-25, but if you want to go for certain things, it's going to be costly. There goes that laptop again, making its noise. But what else has been going on? I didn't realize our Only Murders in the Building comes back. I think this week. It might be on Thursday. Maybe it's even today. I don't know. Maybe it's tomorrow, 27th, I think it said. I still got to finish up season 3. I had like 3 or 4 episodes left. I just stopped watching it. It was pretty good. I just wasn't. I do like that show overall, though. Been weeding the shit out of the front like a. Do I have a picture of it? I don't have a picture of it on Instagram, but like I guess the people who lived here prior had put in. I guess it was all grass. Maybe they got ripped up and they put like a bunch of rocks, and because these across the street as well, like because the street goes down like this, you get a little short sewer. I guess just a pipe under the driveway. And there's rocks, so the water will run down these rocks through the sewer, down the other rocks, and it kind of goes towards the well, so it helps fill the well back up. But these rocks, man, there are tons of weeds growing them. I was able to get most of them out. Some are just like, no, you can't even get in there because you could pull them up partially, but to get it all the way down to the roots, pain in the ass. But it was pretty bad because it was pouring a ton. And I was in Florida for a bit, and the weeds will just pick from, and even the gravel too. I got most of that up. And the gravel driveway, and I got to do the other side though of the rocks, the smaller part on this side up here. And I did some stuff out on the main road, not the main road, but the road up there that our street's off of. I cleaned up some of that too, because there's also a water thing, little sewers going under the street and stuff too, for the water to flow through when it rains, because we're on the hill towards the mountain. We're kind of like at the base of the mountain, I would say. Not huge mountains, I'm not saying, but it goes down like this. So I wanted to clean that up a bit so the water could flow a little better. What else has been going down? A lot of weeds too. Oh god, a ton of them. I take a big pile, throw them in the driveway up by the garage. I let the sun just beat at them and dry the shit out of them, so they're easy to just throw into a bag. It's going to get hot this week again too. It's supposed to be the mid to high 90s, I believe. So it was cool. It was nicely cool. But my fiance was talking to some people, and they were like, "Yeah, you get when you're living down here, you get like a fake." A fake fall, or like a tease fall week, because it dropped into like the 70s or low 80s. I was like, oh, this is nice. And then they say that's like a fake fall, and then you get that summer heat back again. So guys, like I said, I've only been here for not even 3 months, so my body's got to adjust to the weather. It's not drastically different than it was on Long Island. It'll be nice when there is snow here. I know I've talked to the other neighbors, and you do get snow down here occasionally. It's not, I can't even say that Long Island, we barely saw jack shit for snow the last 2 winters we were there. So, but Long Island, you can get 30, 40 inches in a season. It's not terrible. Like Long Island's another place where the weather overall is solid, outside of maybe getting crushed by a hurricane, like Superstorm Sandy or whatever they fucking called it back in 2012, and then some other ones from time to time. We get the high winds coming off the water and stuff, and you can get some nasty heat in the summer up there. Overall, the weather's not bad though. Like Long Island weather is fine. And you might occasionally get like a 2-foot snowstorm here and there every maybe couple of years. It's not like upstate New York. If you live by Canada, especially if you live on the lakes, they're getting like 5-6 feet up in like Buffalo and all that stuff. Oh my god. Pennsylvania's any of the states on the Great Lakes, and that includes Canada as well. Canada's getting crushed too every year. They're not getting a winter where they might not get any snow, like Long Island, like we're at a couple of inches. They're getting hammered every winter. But yeah, like I said, I gotta get used to how the weather is down here. But it'll be nice come winter when, in December, January, February, March, it's more in the 50s and stuff. I know it can get low down here, but I know it kind of goes up. Okay, give me a consistent 50-degree days in like a February. That's great. I think the lows are in the 30s and then the highs are in the 50s. I'll take it. Because Long Island will get extremely cold. Like, we get some really... Once again, this isn't Minnesota. This isn't, the Dakotas, upstate New York, Maine, whatever, wherever, Michigan, whatever it may be, Wisconsin, where you're getting negative 20s. But we will drop to 0, 5 degrees, sometimes a couple degrees under. So it will get cold, but I would prefer the cold over the snow. If I knew it wasn't going to snow, give me the negative 10 over a foot of snow. But I have no problem if there's no snow. I'm looking forward to it, to having warmer winters. And that doesn't mean they're extremely warmer than it was, but warmer is still nice, right? Of course, it does get hotter down here, and you feel it. It's funny, though. When I was in Florida a couple weeks ago, I was coming back here and getting excited. I'm like, oh, it's in the mid-80s. Sweet. I can't get... Because it was... The feels like down there was in the hundreds every day. It was like 105. I went outside and was doing some stuff for my aunt. Shoveling this gravel stuff. And it was like, I was out there for 5 minutes. I was like, oh my God. I was drenched. I was like, my God. It was like 10 in the morning. It already felt like 95. I was like, oh God. It's going to be a bad day. But yeah, the Walmart here in Asheboro has a lot of cards. That's what I did. I'm like, we went to Walmart. I'm like, I'm just gonna go over here for a minute. And I'm like, holy crap, there's freaking card boxes everywhere. They had tons of blasters. Like, that's what Walmart usually has, is the blaster boxes. But they had a ton. Like, I remember going to the Walmart or the Target. And Target's on Long Island or the Walmarts, and they had a couple of those boxes would get eaten up. People would just grab them all. It's annoying. So it's nice at the end. This one's stocked. Even the Lake Wales one in Florida has a decent amount. But this one, I was like, oh, sweet. Like an actual Walmart that actually has the blaster boxes. I know people go in there and just wipe them out. I want to get more of those heritage ones, though. I guess it's just they lowered the price on them a couple of bucks to maybe get rid of them. This is 21, 22, and 23. I had a bunch of Pokemon stuff there, too. Magic the Gathering. I think I saw that. But it's exciting to get excited about those cards. We'll see how long that lasts before I stop giving a shit again. I think now, too, a little bit as well is because there's more space. If I want to get more binders, I have places to put them. It adds a little more of the excitement, when up in the apartment. You're like, shit, you don't want to take up more space or whatever. We want to go to that cider house they opened at that, was it Mill Creek Orchards, I believe it's called. We're going to check that out at some point. Apparently the food there and stuff seems like it should be a good time. We did go to a bar. Was that last Friday? It wasn't this past Friday. It was the one before. Four Saints Brewery, I believe it was called. Nice place, actually. I probably talked about this. I think I did. I must have, yes, I did. And the 80s night, and they play music and do a little bingo. They play quick snippets of tunes. And if you know what you have, it's a place like bingo. They had some good beers there, too. I had 3 of them, and 2 of them were really good. Nice place. What else? They had something here. Oh, what was it called? Was it Robin Sage, this thing, I guess? We looked it up, and they've done it here. And I guess they do it over a bunch of counties in North Carolina. I think maybe some in Georgia and South Carolina. Oh, no, not Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee. But, because we're hearing gunfire. I'm like, oh, I guess someone's just shooting a gun, whatever. And it was going on for a while, and the guns were changing. And I'm like, this isn't somebody just firing off their guns. There's no way. It's been going on too long. And then we finally found out this is a thing they do with, I guess, like, I think Green Berets and I don't know if it's Marines or whatever, other people in the Army. I guess they do this stuff. It's like a training thing. They're like, oh, it's interesting. I was more like, okay, someone's just shooting their guns. Because I don't know where it was coming from north. And it could have been pretty far, the sound echoes. But I was like, where is that coming from? And I was like, there's some big, like, they were using some heavy firepower. And then I'm like, this isn't people just shooting their gun. There's no way. And then we found out it was. I was like, all right. So that was the entertainment for Sunday. I'm glad I'd gotten my back unboxing video done before that, because I was not filming anything with that. Some of those, I don't know what they were using. I know some guns, but some of those were some of that was serious firepower. I mean, you could tell the difference in like what they would be using in terms of smaller firearms, and then I think that's what it's called, a Robin Sage. What else? I can't believe August is almost done. God. I had a good August. July was really good. I've been on a good run here on YouTube, and I want that run to continue. That's what you do if you make videos and you start to go on a run, like, you want it to just last. That's why, like, with that last Shady video, I'm like, okay, it's not viewing well. That's fine, because I still like making those videos, but certain videos, if I don't think they're going to view well, put them up early in the morning, and to keep my view count going, I throw another video up at night. That's usually when I do the 2 days, is when the first video isn't performing well. Because like I said, if you're on a run, everybody knows this, if you create videos, you're on a run, you want to keep it going, because you never know when YouTube's going to just be like, all right, no, we're done. You're out of the recommendations, or I don't know if they call it the algorithm, because none of my videos have taken off in terms of they not even going viral, but like, say a vid does like 10,000 views in a day or two. Like, I haven't had that either. I've had videos get in there and do well on the first day, but not like that. So I don't know if I'm necessarily pushed in the algorithm. I think I get put on I guess it is the algorithm, but it's not going viral, I guess. Which is almost kind of scary to think about. Like, I don't know if I'd even want a video to go nuts. Like, I mean nuts. I don't think mine would anyway, but I wouldn't want that. I get weird with that. And yes, I've passed the 16,000 mark. I was going to maybe do a video for it if you get this far in this video. This is kind of a little 16K thing. Once again, thank you to everybody who's new subs, existing subs, everybody who's done anything for the channel. It means a lot. And I got there quick. Like I said, I've been on a good run, so you want to keep it going. And my own, you always have your own goals in mind. I want to hit 17K. It'd be nice to hit by the end of the year, so I think that's achievable. Maybe go about 10-15 with this. I consider a longer ramble. Anything that goes past 30 minutes, which I'm at now, I consider that a longer ramble. We're getting some termite traps or termite deterrent, whatever it is, put in on Thursday. The people had some here originally, and then the company I'm not going to say the company's names, they wanted to, like, oh, you want to re-up, but it was way too expensive. This other place is cheaper. Apparently termites are a thing in these parts, so you got to be careful about those canisters they put into the ground around the property to deter them. I don't know if I guess it just keeps them away. I don't know if it kills them. I don't know fully what it does. So we got the fire ant mounds too. I don't know if those canisters will help with that, or we got to get some stuff to get rid of some of those. There was a huge one on the front lawn. It's dormant now. And I was like going around it with a lawnmower, because if you touch this thing, the ants just come out. These fire ants come out, and I do not want them biting the shit out of me, because that ain't gonna be fun. That was a huge one, and I eventually just knocked it over because I was using the weed whacker around it. And I'm like, oh, there's no activity here, and then I kind of smacked it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, there's still none. They're definitely not in there. Either they moved on. I don't know if the rain, because it downpoured the one day, really screwed it up or something. I don't know. Or they just moved to another mound. There's a big one in the front walk in the garden area. Plants are. They gotta get rid of that one somehow. There's stuff you can buy, and there's other ways you can do it. So. My Amazon thing will be here between 11:45 and 3:45. The earlier the better, because then I can get another video done. Like I said, I've been selling some of my coins as well. I've sold a couple coins on eBay also. Those are always good for a nice quick profit, a nice solid profit too, anywhere between like $40 to $100 from the ones I've been trying to move or have. And the thing too with the Vita is, I'm looking at it again, like this right over there, is I'm not like the chances of me really putting any more time into the Vita are slim. I'm not saying I would never play it again, but I haven't turned that thing on. I probably should turn it on to make sure it still works. Like, I'm looking at the games, I'm like, there's a few other ones in there where I'm like, no, there's no point. But we'll see. Trim the fat a little bit, as I say. I actually was counting my collection the other day for the systems. I do also have random games floating around that are in bins that I really intend to sell, or just, I don't, whatever. So we'll see. Or, slim down certain collections while kind of expanding out the ones I really care for. Like the original Xbox. The original Xbox is one that I do want to continue to grow. I mean, kind of maybe the 360, but not. Mainly just those ones you can't play on the Xbox One. PS2 is always one I consider, but then I move away from. PS4 is not going to go anywhere. The Xbox One's done. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not really getting anything else with the Xbox One. PS5 will continue to grow as I buy games for it. Because as a system, I will continue to buy games for. The Switch, I probably maybe 3, 4, 5 more games for the Switch. I keep forgetting I got the PSP. I need to use that more often as well. But I knew it was happening. I probably said it in the video. I knew it would happen. I'm going to buy this thing, be into it for a little bit, put it down. That's how I get with handhelds. That's why I like that Retron Square, because I can play those GBA, Game Boy Color games on the TV. I'm sometimes playing them on the handheld. My eyes start to get tired and stuff over time. And my hands cramp up. It's, you get older, you get arthritis and stuff. In this room that I'm in now, I still got to get some kind of poster back there. But there's an area over here, you would have seen it in one of the tapping videos around the house. I want to get like a computer desk over there, probably another shelf as well. So maybe if I ever do a live stream on here on YouTube, I can maybe do it from that corner or something like that. I mean, I could do it from anywhere with a laptop. But, I always think about doing one and I don't know. I say an 8. 8 out of 10 on this one. Solid drink. Laptop's making noise again. Struggling, not much noise. It's funny, you hear it and it goes quiet, then you hear it again. Just trying to do something. I'm gonna get another gameplay up soon. Maybe this week. I'll film it. Yeah, September is coming up. Sunday, right? September 1st, I think, football. We'll be here that following week. And I didn't realize I was looking at the schedule. The usual game now on the 4th. Thursday. 4th. Let's say Thursday. That'll be the 5th. And then they're having a game on Friday as well. I was like, oh my goodness. At this point, they might as well just have a game on every day of the week. Well, they wouldn't typically throw any games on during college football, because then you got to figure out where to put them and place them, because I assume the college games are also on the major networks. It's kind of cool because this is this state is big into the college sports more. I mean, New York college football wasn't really a thing. College basketball, people bone over in New York. There's a lot of at least solid schools. Well, some are not as good as they used to be, like Syracuse's and the Villanova. Well, Villanova's, Georgetown, Seton Hall isn't as good, I don't think, as they used to be. Maybe they are. Like I said, Syracuse. What other schools are floating around there? I said Georgetown, right? Villanova. Was Villanova in? No, Villanova's not in New York. Right? Villanova's in Pennsylvania, isn't it? I don't know. Somebody tell me that. Seton Hall definitely is in the city, I believe. And Georgetown is in New York. Yeah, Villanova's definitely in Pennsylvania, right? It's not in New York. Is it in? I'm pretty sure it's in Pennsylvania. I gotta look this up. And you know what, I'm not. You guys let me know if you know. But yeah, college football now. I mean, even down here though with the basketball, I mean, you've got UNC, Duke, Wake Forest. I was gonna actually say Georgia Tech. Yeah, Georgia Tech, that well-known college in North Carolina, Georgia Tech. Wake Forest was the one I was thinking of. North Carolina State, so they have that good action. I want to see how that kind of is when college basketball season starts, especially. I don't know how those teams all are in college football. I don't know. I know some of the teams that are really good in basketball. It's a lot. Some of the colleges have a good or a really good basketball and football team. Some have a really good football team, but not a great basketball team. Some have a great basketball team and not a good football team. But that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll try to get into a college basketball team down here. But yeah, I'll turn this off in a few minutes, I guess. 41 minutes? Yeah, 45 minutes should be good enough. That constitutes as a long ramble, soft-spoken ramble. And I don't even know. Sometimes I swear, and other creators might know this too, like especially ASMR people. You're like, you start, it's a soft-spoken video, and then all of a sudden you're whispering. You don't even realize you're whispering. Or you're whispering, and all of a sudden you just go into soft-spoken. U.S. Open starts this week, tennis. That's in New York. They play that in the Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens. Maybe it starts today, maybe it starts this week. I always remember it's always the end of August. Because I remember back when I was a kid, you'd be like, oh, the U.S. Open's starting. Ah, shit, school's going to be starting next week. But fall is coming. Yeah, it's gonna be nice though, celebrating the first Christmas down here and stuff too, setting up the tree. And wherever we find a place to put it, in the living room. That should be nice. I was actually looking at the trains again to go back to Florida, and I was just looking at the January, February, March. The tickets for the roomettes are really good price, a little over $300. I was like, what? I'm gonna have to book another train ride down there for then, because that's cheap. And there's not really too much of a threat of terrible, terrible weather for me to get from Raleigh to down there, Now, if I was coming from New York in the winter, it might be, oh shit, all of a sudden snow comes in, the trains are affected. I mean, it could happen here, but it's more unlikely to happen. Anyway. I haven't been watching many movies. I can't remember the last movie we watched. Oh, we watched American Psycho yesterday. I'd already seen that, newer movies. I hadn't seen that in a long time. I always loved that movie. My friends and I saw that in the theater twice back when it came out. Did it come out in 99 or 2000? Was it 2000 it came out? Or was it 99? I think it was 2000. The play was really good. We saw the play, my fiance and I, whenever that was. I don't know, maybe 2016, 2015. That was a really good play. And that followed the book more than the movie did, I believe. But that was a really good play. I remember there's a part, I think I probably mentioned it in one of these videos a long time ago, but at one point they threw out fake money to the crowd. I was like, I'm going to take some of this as a little souvenir. I still have that somewhere. I forget where. That was a really good play. And then we saw the Harry Potter one. What is it? The Cursed Child. That was really cool. A lot of people, from the standpoint of just Harry Potter, it's kind of stupid, right? People don't necessarily like the story in it. It involves the time turner or tuner or whatever they call it. But in terms of like the play, the setup and everything, it was so well done. They did this, the time traveling thing was, I don't even know how they did it. It was really cool, like the wavy. It was actually a really cool play. It was in 2 parts too, which was nuts. It's like you go to the first part, then there's like a 3-hour gap. So we went in to eat and we came back. But that was really cool. Even if you're like, because they made it into the book. I want to say my fiance has that. Is it over there? The Cursed Child book. But I can understand if you like the story's kind of like very generic in terms. Oh, he was the time tuner. It's Voldemort's kid, and she had a kid. I think he had a kid with Bellatrix or some shit. And she had the time tuner. We got to go back, and then it's maybe a little lazy, you want to call it, but in terms of like the actual production of this thing and the acting was well done. The production was incredible. And then the third play I saw in high school was Smokey Joe's Cafe. Those are the 3 plays I saw. For me to see a play, it's got to be something I'm actually legitimately interested in, like American Psycho. She was like, I want to see this. Like, yeah, shit. I like the movie. I never read the book, but I heard it was more like the book, and it was, apparently. And the Potter one, I was like, yeah, sure, certain ones I would see, but like, Phantom of the Opera and stuff like that, that's not in there anymore. But those ones, it's like, it needs to interest me, right? But anyway, ended on that. This is just a drink review here of Sparkling Ice Black Raspberry. This is one that was recommended to me. Comments. And soft-spoken longer ramble. 8 out of 10 on this as well. And thanks for checking us out. And have a good day.